What's the bright? Oh. Right. There's a light in the back seat of the car. Oh. Can anyone hear me? Is anyone there? No one's here. I'm early and I'm on my own. Hello. Right. Two people joining me. Hello. We'll wait until we've got a couple more people on board. I'm just going to put you down for a second while I adjust this light in the back seat because it's a bit dingy out in coupe, but that light is making it too bright. I wanted to stick it outside with a power lead on it, but I couldn't find the extension lead to run that thing. Hello, Scottish Car Enthusiast TV. Always good to hear from you. How are you doing? Hello. Hello. Dan Classic Cars, Project Zorgo. Good evening. Oh, gosh, 23, 26 people. Wow, we're picking people up. Well, you join me this evening in... Hello from Jamaica. Blimey. I did not realise I had that kind of global reach. You join me from the passenger seat, or the driver's seat, in fact, of the Rover Coupe. I've not sat in this car for a long time. I'm from Sweden. Hello. Hello, Jan. Nice to see you here. I'm now wishing I'd moved my bins from out the back of the driveway because it looks really messy. Yeah, it's been a busy day. I've had a day out today. Right. I can move this and balance it over here on the back of the T-shelf of the Tomcat. Hello, Netherlands. Yay, it is the Tomcat. I'm trying to balance the iPad on the T-shelf, but it won't balance. Oh, sorry, it's a really wobbly picture. It is a great T-shelf. It's a terrible iPad shelf. I'm going to have to hold it manually. Right, well, welcome to a live chat. Pennsylvania, blimey. Hello, Richard. Hello. Wholesale trout. Wow, specific. Yeah, I've not been in this Tomcat for a little while. Hello, Finland. Yeah, very poor point shape. I should have brought some kind of bracket to balance this on. As we go on, my arm gets tired, I might start rummaging in the glove box and see if there's something that I can balance this on. Wow, getting a few different places all over the place. France, Cook. I can't understand that. This tiny writing. You wouldn't believe how tiny the text is when these messages scroll by on an iPad mini screen. Yeah, I thought I have not driven this Tomcat for months, really. And so I thought it was a good idea to pop the Mini into the garage where this normally lives and get it out for a drive. And it's perfect timing because they harvested all the fields around us and then it poured a rain. So it has been raining on and off all day today. It's been actually tropically thunderstormy. 1, 2, 3. I've got some, well, not news exactly, but yeah, 1, 2, 3 and convertible news can be topics of Berry. We've got bits of England and bits of the world joining us tonight. That's pretty cool. Finished the Merc. Well, I'm trying to get bits for the Merc at the moment. Currently, things happening with the Merc are tractors. I'll see some tractor work. Yeah, I'm trying to find a fan belt that's the right length because all the right lengths that are stated for the W123 are the wrong size for the fan belt run. So I've actually measured it with a bit of string, and it said it was 97 centimeters to get the correct length of run on the fan belt, and that's too short. So I've measured it again, and it's definitely 97 centimeters on the inside of the pulleys, but it's 102 on the outside. Hello, Turkey. Okay, well, we've got 50 people here, so I'll start talking about the Mercedes. Well, I have literally no idea why the Mercedes has started working. It does work though, and I haven't changed the oil yet. I did have a sneaky quick test fire of it just to see, and it fires up good as gold now every time. All now fuel is being delivered where it wasn't before, but it seems to work, which does mean that the project is now going to move on in a different direction and at a different pace as well. I can start looking, sorting out the brakes, sorting out the rut, any electrical gremlins I find. That thing is potentially going to be really good really soon, so I'm really quite excited about that now. I'm going to find something very quickly to balance this on. I've got, oh damn, that's not going to work. I've got some audio tapes. I'm in the Rover, so I've got audio cassettes, and maybe these can act as a thing to balance on. I didn't plan this very well today. Oh, one word, what have I done? Oh, I've hit the reverse camera. Oh my god, I'll get that back. Cancel, sorry, I've hit the swap camera button with my thumb. That was a mistake. What a mistake and a maker. as they say. Right, I missed some comments there. I'm going to have to go back to holding this because there's nothing I can do to balance this. So, yes. Yeah, 280C long-term project. I'm on the W123 Facebook page. I haven't posted much on there for a while, but there's some good people on there. Did we have bad weather today? Well, it's a funny old day today. Because I can grab the camera. Funny old day today because left the fog tipping with rain and went into London because at the moment all the London attractions are deserted. You can walk up to anything. Went into the Tower of London. I've lived in the southeast of England my entire life and I've never been to the Tower of London. And we went in there, just strolled straight in. Normally the 2-hour queue to see the crown jewels, which I've never seen. Just strolled straight in. There was no one there. Huh, it's amazing. Hello, Russia. No, the Merc is an absolute mystery to me still. So, yeah, that is, well, that's going to happen now. But the other project, which is causing grief, the V8 Rover, that is getting there very, very slowly indeed. We've made a bit of progress with, well, not since the last video, but I know what to do next. But the news on the Rover 216 convertible, which is behind me under a cover right now because it is going to tip down very soon indeed. I've made a decision on the what do you call it, on the hood cover. I've got some samples. The choices really were keep it with black, which is a safe choice but a bit boring, go for a tan, which kind of matches the seats a bit but not quite, or go with blue, which would be nice but nothing else on the car is blue, or red. And this red looks really quite nice. I think that is going to look really good on the Rover 216 convertible if I get the hood done in that, because I think a 216, sorry, any convertible needs to be a little bit showy, and I think that's going to do the trick to get this looking a bit exciting and a bit showy, because silver isn't a strong colour. It's a nice colour, hello Poland, but it's not a strong colour, so I think it needs a bit of something kapowy to make it stand out and look a bit cool. So we're going to go nice red trim. I'm not trying to say, but why is the SD1 gap in my repertoire? Just because I've never got around to it, and now they've got expensive. So I probably have to sell something to make room and money for one. Got a 1975 1303. I assume you mean a Beetle, Nico. Hang on. James A. Cool. Is that the red trim you're calling that? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was you. Yeah, I missed your earlier thing. Have you welded before? Welding is harder than it looks. Yeah, Dan, my W123 always would fire when you put fuel straight down the throat. It would always just fire up. If you squirted Easy Start in it, it would fire. It just wouldn't run off its own fuel system. How much worse does a convertible have to get before I call time to scrap it? Not much worse. The next video is going to have a lot of frustration in it. I've not put it up yet because I've started doing stuff with the engine bay, trying to make it fire, and it's adding problems day by day. Every time I touch it, something else breaks. But I'd like to make the thing run. I've gone so far into it that I really don't want it to be a dead car. Nissan Micra 99, yay, quite fun. Hello from Essex. We made it as far as London today, so it's not quite as far as Essex, but almost. Oh, 500 quid to weld an E39, that's probably worth it, to be fair. Hello, Yorkshire. The fuel distribution unit works on kind of suction and vacuum rather than anything mechanical, or sorry, rather than anything electronic, completely mechanical. But I've rebuilt the fuel distribution twice, in fact, but I haven't rebuilt the metering unit, so I wonder if something has cleared in the metering unit. Hello, Reading. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Do you think I've not dreams about... No, I don't think I've not dreams about me at all. My fixing isn't necessarily better than his fixing. It was, Dan, it was amazing when the Mercedes fired up. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I do need to rebuild the fuel lines, because what I've done on the fuel lines, they are clear, but they rotted out at the back, and because I didn't know where I was going with the project, I didn't replace them with proper hard lines. I just replaced the rotted out bit with flexible lines. So now it's running. It's one of the many things I've got to do is replace all of the fuel lines from front to back, and there's 3 long runs. I also need to do all the brake lines as well, because they rotted out in the same place that the fuel lines had. Do I think the NEC Classic Car Show will go ahead this year? They say yes, it will, but no one I've spoken to is willing to actually go and either put a car on a stand or go and visit it, and so I can't see how it will. So I don't know. I know Soup Classic Motoring. I love Soup Classic Motoring. That is amazing. The work he does is just incredible, and the time it takes him to do stop motion as well is just fantastic. Have I thought about doing a review on a Vauxhall Nova? Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a review on a Vauxhall Nova. They're quite fun, actually. How's the Volvo? The Volvo I've sawned and parked on a friend's drive for a few weeks because I've got nowhere to put it on the drive here, and if I'm going to drive the Tomcat and the Mini, I needed to untax something else. I can't afford to tax all my cars at once. That is the big problem of having multiple cars. Run them all at the same time. Hang on. Barry, I missed your first. What's our indoors daily driver? It is a current generation Mini Clubman, which is actually a review on the channel elsewhere, but she won't let me, she doesn't do anything exciting with it, and she won't let me modify it. Nice shade of blue. And one thing we have decided with that particular Mini, this is maybe borderline interesting, is to get out PCP trap, which has had her in 3 Minis now in a row. She's going to keep this one forever, basically. When the end of the 3-year finance thing is up, she's going to take a loan out, clear the finance, and just keep on driving it. And so to that end, when the first service happened about a month ago, instead of going back to Mini and paying a huge amount, because she thought she had a TLC package on it, but there wasn't one, who does all my other mechanicking work, and he's done the service on it, and so paid like 150 quid instead of 300 or 400, and we've still got the stamp in the book. And so yeah, that car's just a long-termer, but just drives to and from work, nothing exciting. Does get kayaks strapped to the roof and dogs in the boot. That's that nice new Mini is the most expensive car here, and it's the messy one. There's some logic for it. Do I want to review a Volvo V70 T5? Yes, I do. Great fun. Can I refit the traffic master fitted to the 2003 warning system? If it is, probably not, because the radio is very basic in these things. Scottish shows being cancelled or rearranged. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening down here, but they tend to be cancelled more than anything else. There was an auto jumble just down the road from here not long ago, last weekend, and I didn't know about it until someone posted on Facebook all the great bargains they'd found. And I was like, well, wish you'd phone me and let me know, because I'd have come down and get some bargains as well. Hello, Neil, how you doing? Next 1, 2, 3 video is actually what I was working on yesterday, but I ran out of parts and I've got to go and keep going. I've never seen Nick Gurr's British Super Touring channel. No, that'd be interesting. Hello, Matt, who just posted a minute ago saying hello. I was driving in a 1989 Suzuki Campo 2.2. I've never even heard of that. Oh, so the Merc wagon is one of the best cars I've ever owned. I wish I still had my Alfa 159, but that is not a bad. Oh, thank you, Matt. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. Are we back online again? Someone say something, because we just dropped off the Wi-Fi for a second then. Titchness, I hope you just said that a second ago. Yeah, we seem to, the internet's playing up in this area now. I think, including wife's car, I think we're on 10 cars at the moment. Oh, good, thank you. Yeah, I was a bit worried. I was trying to set up a personal hotspot on my phone, but I couldn't work out to get back out of this and on again. Phew, that's a relief. I'm in Kent, yes, in stormy Kent. There's been big rain today. Hooray, we're back. Christian, hello. And thank you in version. I saw a super chat there from Matt. Thank you so much. If anyone would like to see more progress on the cars happening more quickly, then super chat is a great way of helping the channel get some much needed tea funds to keep the kettle boiling in the garage and the work churning on. I had a black 03 Mini Cooper as daily. Oh, that's a great car. It's not 50 in that case, isn't it? Like mine. That's a bit of a step up or a change from a T4 to a T5 Transporter. Since the Wi-Fi dropped off for a second, I've missed a few comments, so just running back to catch them. Oh yeah, Peugeot 306 DS was what I got for sale, bright yellow. I'd love a Peugeot 306. Years ago, I really wanted a 306 XSI 3-door, but I could never find a 3-door, only 5 doors, so I never bought one. I really regret that still. Oh, hello Alan, how you doing? Oh, I missed your comment because the Wi-Fi just dropped off at that moment. Test drive a Mark 1 Astra. I'd love to do that. I haven't driven one of them for absolutely years. My best friends at school had an orange Mark 1 Astra. I had a Mark 2S. No, I had the Rover by then. And he had a Mark 1 Astra. It was a really rapid little car. I think he destroyed the engine in the end. Only ran on 3 cylinders towards the very end. Oh, Rover mugs, because it's appropriate. I'm sat in the Rover Tomcat right now on the Redbubble store, which is linked on every other video apart from this and will be later on. You can pick up the Rover mugs, which I absolutely love. I need to get some more of them. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Oh, hang on. For the mini Rovers, that will be needed. I've been spending money on the convertible this week, unfortunately. In fact, I did spend some money on this Rover in a video to be announced next week. Surprise change. Stay tuned on that one. But I'd like to see a review a Mitsuka. Oh, is that that little kind of thing that looks like a Mark II Jag but based on a Nissan Micra? Yeah, I'd like to do one of them. They're quite fun. There's a few cars based on Micras I'd like to have a go in just to see. W123, W124. Oh, I need to do a 124 as well. I don't really like them. It's such big, tough tanks of cars. Mark 5 Astra 1.7D. Yeah, that's a decent engine though. This is now fetching decent money, so the days of me sort of rushing out to buy them for 300 quid are well and truly over. Enjoyed the E30 at BMW. Someone actually emailed me about an E38 or messaged me about an E38 this morning. Hopefully I can follow that up and see if they're not too far away to go and do a video on that. Parents live in Mepham. Yeah, not too remote from Mepham. I mean, I could certainly strike out that in not too long of a time. Do I think manual gear changes in BMWs are unfairly derided? I don't think they were derided at all, actually. They're generally sort of fairly well respected. It's a shame they're not included anymore. That's more of the issue, that they don't put them on a lot of the options lists for a lot of their better cars. So they get the better car with a boring automatic gearbox, so it kills all the fun and spirit out of the thing. Minder video. Oh, that was a lucky find with the Minder. I think I was very fortunate that someone I know is actually restoring the car, and we've shot a few of his cars for various magazines in the past. So when he got the car in, he gave me a call to come and document it, which is very, very exciting. I mean, that's like a proper screen icon, isn't it? That Capri. Very sad. I'll be honest, when I saw it go up in flames, I did kind of think that was going to be it for the car. I didn't expect it to be repairable, but the fact it is great. K-Series engines get unfair reputation because they're gasket. Yeah, they do, and if they keep an eye on the temperature gauge, they're generally pretty good. Oh, KK Explorer's bought a 75. Well done, Rover 75, a lovely car. Which engine is it? Diesel or 1.8? Greg, they're leaving the UK. I missed the previous comment on that one. I did hear Mitsubishi is pulling out of Europe. Yeah, they are. It's a bit confusing what's going on there. There is talk that they're doing some kind of alliance with the Nissan Renault, and they're going to divide the world into different continents and sort of focus different brands on different continents. But I don't really know, and I don't think anyone really knows yet. But it's a real shame because their stuff is fairly unique. The pickup trucks and what have you. 2-litre diesel. Oh, that's a good engine. It's a BMW engine, isn't it? So that's a great motor. That'll go on a long time. Just keep an eye on the rust on that and get on top of it if it does start bubbling. Mine doesn't seem to as well remember there's only fools and horses. No, yeah, I think you're right, it doesn't. But people of a certain age, if you're sort of 35 plus, then you probably do remember it pretty fondly. And maybe slightly different sort of people, different group of people remember it fondly. Either because I know people who like Only Fools aren't necessarily as much into Minder and vice versa. But yeah, there's still quite a strong following. Oh, Dave, thank you very much indeed. I don't know if you saw the minute ago, but yes, that will be going towards some of this for the hood very shortly indeed. I decided I love a red roof on a silver car, and that needs a bit of bling to make it exciting and stand out a bit. Because it's a silver car, needs a bit of excitement on it, and people need to be show off a bit in a convertible. You can't be a shy, retiring type with the roof. What's the lowest spec SD1 you would deem acceptable? I think they're all good. Even like the lowly 2 litre is still fairly decent. If you find a diesel, that'd be quite exciting actually. Awesome, thank you very much indeed. You're a gentleman. I really appreciate that, and I'll say that will be going. It's all on the Rovers this week, as well, if I'm honest. Late George Cole, Alpha Daily, little does you maybe underneath. He's all right. Mitsubishi Space Wagon, they're fantastic. Did I say thank you, Dave, a second ago? I'm scrolling back. I think I did. No, thank you, Dave. I didn't. I always like to film the Monday Capri. Oh, yes, I was saying it's really quite strange because I know the garage quite well who's restoring it, because I've done a few photo shoots with magazines there in the past, and so it's like a really familiar surrounding, but having like such a famous car as well, and sort of sitting or looking over a car that is so well known, it's always a little bit special. And yeah, I wasn't really sure how it would be reacted to, but people seem to really enjoy it. I'm glad people did. I've gone in, I've done a little brief update on it on Thursday. I went back for a little tiny update, which we'll add in with a bigger update end of next week, because it's now gone off for shot blasting. So I'll add some before and after stuff together, and we'll see how it's getting on in about 4 or 5 days, I reckon we'll know then. Did I just see James A? Thank you very much indeed. 235i. Oh, is that the current shape 235i? Oh yeah, and thank you by the way. Yeah, I mean Yorkshire. I'll shout me up. Body in the boot gmail.com. Drop me some details, and I'll be in touch that way. Yeah, that was the firm. My brother actually had the full firm album, which had Star Trekking on it, and just ridiculous songs, which drove my parents mad for a long time in the mid-80s. Is this live? Yes, this is literally happening now as we speak. Mark, thank you very much indeed to us new Wi-Fi. Yeah, EE, well, I've been with for absolute years, even since they were orange. They've been really good over the years, but since lockdown started, even though because I work from home and sort of send video files and stuff around a lot, we've got like the fast broadband. It's been really ropey lately, and since lockdown started, really annoying. We should bought a Galant. Yeah, Gallants are awesome, but I've not seen one for sale in so long. 540i is what a lot of people call the clever choice rather than the M5. It's nice to hear that. E39 540i, that's such a good choice. Is your throttle pedal very heavy? I say that all E39 throttle pedals are really heavy, and some people have said no, they're not, but everyone I've ever driven has been. So I welcome your feedback on that. Passat 1998. Yeah, they're good cars actually. I know someone had one with 400,000 miles on it, which was pretty good going. If I had to buy a diesel camper to convert for camping, if I had to buy a diesel van to convert for camping for a budget of $2,500, what would it be? That's actually a really kind of topical question, because that's something we've been talking about here at home, is thinking about making a camper van, and we've been talking about that a lot. And I was thinking something Volkswagen T4, T5 size, but I don't think you can get T5 for $2,500. Oh, Anvil Tech, beautiful. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated indeed. But yeah, I don't know. Probably an old Transit or a Fiat, like not Ducato, the big Fiat ones they convert. They're rubbish. They used to be good, but they're rubbish. Who's my broadband supplier? So yeah, I'm really kind of, my actually personal favourite choice would be get a big American thing, like a Astro van or a Ford Econoliner type thing, because they're relatively cheap in the States. If you can ship one over, buy one in America for £1,000, ship one over about 1,500 quid, that would be quite a cool thing to turn into a big but very inefficient van. But probably a Transit be the cheapest option. Go with the newest Transit you can find, and then go from there. Although Volkswagens tend to be the default choice. So, how long have I been furious driving? Well, the channel started about 8 years ago, but wasn't really in the current format, and it became this furious driving about 18 months ago or so. Yeah, Fiat Ducato. It's a Ducato, isn't it? Yeah, they seem to be really popular. What's donations for? That's called Super Chat. It's helping fund the channel because there's so many restoration projects going on the channel. You can Super Chat through the buttons below and give a £1 or £2 or £5 link to the channel. Then we can go buy stuff like the new hood for the Rover Convertible, the many parts we need for the W123. Just keep the restoration projects going, keep the entertainment flowing. We've been converting a T5, fitted windows, insulation. Yeah, that is a project I would really like to get involved in. Especially sort of since yeah, we're not doing the foreign trips and things at the moment, and if you get a decent van you could do foreign trips. And we did camping a couple of weekends ago up in my in-laws' garden because they live a few counties away, so we've not seen them for since like February or March. And yeah, camping was horrible, really. It was miserable. So yeah, do I have a finish date for the Rover in the garage? Yeah, 2018. But we missed it by a long way. So yeah, it's nearly done. It's really just fitting the niggly bits now. So every time I do a niggly bit, I find another niggly bit I need to go and buy something for. So that's what's holding me up on that. But that's nearly done. Throttling my 97 is last year of analog cable throttle body. I was at the Volkswagen van. Sorry, I'm losing track of the comments here. Fiats and the Volkswagens are better. Yeah, if it was just me on my own or me and my wife, then a little thing like a C15 or a Volkswagen, the small caddies would be really ideal, or something like there's a Morris Marina travel camper conversion, which I showed a photo of in the house, and that went down like I say lead balloon isn't the best way I could say it, but yeah, that was my first choice. It was no one else's first choice, followed by an old comma van. Again, that sunk miserably without a trace when I suggested that. Oh, fixing it Outback, yeah, that'd be cool. And retro rides, I'd love to do retro rides next year. I guess that's not going to happen this year, is it? Smart 4.2. They're decent little cars, actually. You have to get used to the gearbox. You have to sort of really learn how to sort of lift off the accelerator when they change gear. Otherwise, that can drive you mad. But they're really good little cars. They're really well made. They last and last. They're great interiors. They're fun. Registering a Bond bug. Wow, that's a cool little thing. Favorite Rover petrol engine. Ooh. I do like the T-Series as well, actually, because that's got a real character. It's got a nice gruff sound. It's got a nice torque and power delivery. It does dribble a bit of oil, so you always got a kind of slightly oily smell around the car, and it does. You always get a comment on the MOT every year saying oil leak, but they just do that, but not enough to actually notice on the dipstick. So yeah, I think the T-Series is a great motor. A bit of a heavy thing though, so the K-Series is a bit more adaptable, but yeah. Best car, 1984 Audi 90. 80s Audis were brilliant things. Yeah, I've not driven an 80s Audi in years. Oh, I missed it. I have a Daimler Dart 250 in the family. Yeah, they are great. Aren't they like a chassis, like a solid chassis or chassis rails with glass fiber body on top? So they're quite fun. Stuart, I'll pause right time to take a drink then. Thank you very much indeed. I really do appreciate that. Oh, where are we? Have I got any special trips planned event for the R50 next year for the 20th anniversary? I haven't actually, no. But I am sort of, active in the Y Register Club, so I'm sure there will be something happening. And if there is something happening, I would definitely like to be part of it. So yeah, got trips planned for the Volvo, which is why I can't get rid of it until we've done those trips. But obviously, 2020 got in the way. Do I ever think the Corsa D will become a classic like a Nova? It's going to take a while, but maybe. I think if people have fond memories of them, like they have with the early minis and that kind of stuff, as in the current generation minis, if they learn to drive in them, if they have those first cars, then yeah, nostalgia will kick in, and people will fall in love with them again, maybe in a while. But it's been nostalgia rather than the quality of the car, I'd perhaps suggest. Bedford Rascal Camper, that'd be brilliant, like Fat Larry White, if you remember Mark and Lard's show from a while ago on Radio 1. Outback of Broken Dreams. Oh, he used to stick that on a t-shirt. Ford Focus camper van, that'd be interesting. An hilarious understeer moment in a 4.2 at 5 mph in a car park. How do you understeer at 5 mph? Was it on ice? Beetles are entertaining. I haven't driven a Beetle in a while, so I struggle to get my feet onto the pedals in Beetles. If I had to have one car and it had to be a Rover, what Rover would it be? It would be a Rover, probably P6, because I love P6s, they're the best. What do I think of the Mercedes B-Class? It's a bit of a niche thing. It wasn't exciting, but it drove okay for what it was, and no one really bought them though. Sad day for Longbridge. Yeah, I saw some pictures earlier on the news. Yeah, it's all gone basically, which is a real shame. Someone did ask on a comment a while ago, was I going to go and do a walk around up there? And I had to say, I don't think there's anything to walk around anymore. If I'd done it 5 years ago, it would have been quite entertaining, but nothing to look at. Hello, Danny. Is that the Tomcat I'm in? Yes, it is. If I lift the thing up there, you can see the sagging headlining, which I'm fiberglassed together before or during lockdown because I was running out of ideas of things to do. It didn't work. Alfa Mito or Grande Punto? Well, they're basically the same car, aren't they, really, underneath? So I'd probably go for the Alfa just because I love Alfas. Hello, Matthew. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Appreciate the sentiment. 1956 Anglia 100E. Oh, they're good. Fun little cars. Oh, yes, that's the old Daimler V8, which is a great engine, but Jaguar kind of insisted on kind of killing off. How to say? It's considering taking part in a car road trip next summer with an economical, cheap to run car with enough room for. Oh, well, I'll just get on to Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, try to find a big old executive thing, maybe a Volvo, maybe an old Jag or a Merc, even a Mondeo actually would be quite good. Maybe a big Audi, because the big executive stuff doesn't really hold its value, and maybe try and drive it for a few weeks before you take it, because you don't want any nasty surprises like finding why it was 500 quid. But yeah, just hit Gumtree, Auto Trader, yeah. Yeah, there's not much of the British car industry as it used to be left anymore, which is a shame. Sorry, talking to Scottish car enthusiast there about the Longbridge situation, the fact there isn't a Longbridge anymore, which is kind of sad, really. Oh, Paul, thank you very much indeed. Keep the cabriolet fund. I think that car's trusted my patience too far. How much do I earn? That's between me and my accountant, who has to hide all the millions from the inland revenue. If only. We were chatting on Twitter. You thought I was being mean. I thought you were being mean, but I was being nice. I think I probably did take it as a joke, but replied. I'll look back to that conversation later if I get the internet to work long enough. I've got a W124 convertible, been at the mechanics for 15 months. Oh god, I hope it's a restoration, not just a village garage or something that's forgotten they've got it. Longbridge has been demolished. It's now gone. It's going to be houses imminently, which is a real shame. I think some of the original Rover buildings, the red brick buildings, have been saved, the old offices. So they may be converted. I hope they are. But everything that was factory is now gone. Bridgend 4 plant gone. Yeah. Would I convert any of my car collection to electric? Yeah, I would definitely consider that to kind of keep them viable in the future. I was actually giving serious thought to the W123 just because it's been immobile so long. I was thinking it might be cheaper to go and bung electric in it rather than fix the petrol engine. But I don't know. I can potentially, if petrol becomes hard to buy, I would do it to all of them, just to keep them on the road. Because partly I know the engine is part of the character of a car, but having the car running at all is better than not having it running at all. But yeah, convertible might be quite nice. Where did we get to? Oh, roof mechanism is stuck on the W124. Oh god, that sounds like a fun job. Woodhead shock absorber factory in the early 90s is disappeared now as well. I suspect it probably has. Oh, I didn't know the new Longbridge shopping village. I shouldn't be surprised though. The track was your boss. Yeah, that's very true. Hello, Netherlands. Hey, Frank, how are you? Yeah, they probably will name all of the old street names after. Not to say Rover models, because P6 Street and 216 Avenue is going to have a bit of a weird ring to it, but certainly they'll name after brands and maybe some of the people who are involved in the company. Took you a while to get into the Rover Cabrio project, and now you're hooked. I was straight into it. No, I wish I was out. That car is the gift that keeps on giving in terms of stuff that goes wrong and creating content. I'd say, yeah, because yeah, I bought bits for it, and can I explain the appeal of a diesel convertible? Personally, no. If it's a really smooth, quiet diesel and you can't hear it at idle, then maybe. But yeah, really, with a convertible, you can hear the engine and it's all part of the experience. So you do kind of want electric or a petrol, or maybe a push electric in a convertible. But maybe it's tax reasons. I don't know. Yeah, other cars I would consider going electric in. I would love an electric P6. I mean, the black V8. I know I spent the last 2 years putting a V8 into it, but if you've ever seen the film Gattaca, they use black P6 V8s as all the police cars. So that'd be quite fun to electrify that car in the future and have it as a Gattaca tribute car for a film that no one's heard of. I'm glad you appreciate the quips about Swiss roll T-shelves and corpses in the boot. Not sure everyone does. Crikey, we're going 40 minutes already. That's flown by. There are signs around Longbridge Village that references the history of Rover. Well, a nice reference. It's a shame the car company itself isn't there anymore, but Rover V8 hasn't really moved on since last week because I've had a lot of work, and also it's summer holidays, and the local childminder who looks after my son is on holiday, so I've been not had much free time in the garage this week. So basically the end of the last video where I was trying to reconnect the gear linkage is kind of where it's been left for the last few days. Hang on, where we go? What's been the favourite car of all the Goes for a Drive videos? Oh, I think that was probably the old Austin 7 I did about a year or so ago, just because I absolutely loved that car. I would love a pre-war car myself, and that car drove well. It was loads of fun. It worked just perfectly. It's one of those cars I'll go and sort of bring it home and explain it later, and I didn't, and someone else bought it, and I regret not jumping on that. Any chance of walk around the car and I finally have it out? I can't, because the Wi-Fi is so sketchy. If I move even like 10 centimeters towards the driver's door, it's going to drop off the internet. So I'll walk around in one of the next videos. Ever been most? I would like to restore a vintage bike, so pre-war 1940 bike. I have no idea how to ride one, so in the short term, there probably won't be. Sinclair C5, which I will finally get around to putting some electronics into it. As close as I'm going to get to. More Alphas. Yeah, more Alphas would be very nice to have, both on the and the test drives. In fact, there might be one coming up in the next couple of weeks if I can figure a day to do it. Have I ever scratched or dinged someone's car by accident because of shame and anxiety? No, I don't think I have. If I have done, it's been to me, put it that way. I don't believe I've ever hurt. I think every car I've ever dinked, I've owned up to. In Netflix Black Mirror, there's a 216 Vanden Pla in an episode. I've not seen that episode actually. Hello, Fix Drive Die. Not Drive. Fix Drive Ride Fly. Don't die. That's probably not good. Glad you could join. What have you missed so far? I've chosen the colour for the hood of the convertible. The coupe Tomcat is out and I'm in it. What else was I going to say? Yeah, the W123 still works. I've tried starting it a couple of times and it just finds time. It's a mystery, but I'm glad it's solved itself. Who knows what's going on there? You know, I should do some more Citron reviews. I've not done any Citron. I've done one Citron review, and I was thinking that literally this morning when I was driving around, I saw a couple of Citrons on the road and thought, why have I got no Citrons on the channel? I would like to own a Mark 1 Punto more because I really like the Mark 1 Punto. But if it's my actual daily car that I was living with 24/7, I'll probably go for the Grande because you get aircon, you get better radio and updates and things, and probably better safety in the bags. If I was actually going to have one in the collection, it would be a Mark 1 just because, yeah, kind of cool. Jason, my first car is a 2004 Punto Sporting, good car. I'm thinking of getting 93 Series Touring as my next. Any thoughts? Well, it's going to be a world of difference. Don't forget it's rear-wheel drive, so it'll be more fun on roundabouts in the wet. Check your insurance. It'll be quite a jump up as well. And the fuel economy may or may not be worse depending on what model you go. You will, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. They're really good cars. So I just realised Fly Drive was actually cleaning chickens. Are you? This is your second account from Sam Craig by chance? Will Mercedes ever be back on the road, and will it ever actually be dry inside? Yes to both. Since the cover's been on, thanks Halfords, that's a great cover. If you need a big cover, then the nice exterior range is apparently pretty good, it turns out. That is bone dry inside. No. We have normal dreams at hub nut. No. Do we ever speak? Yes, we do sometimes speak. So yes, it's Are there any Citroen Visa GTIs left on the roads? I'm not sure. If there are, it's going to be single figures, I would suggest. I haven't run it and restarted it when it's warm yet. But yeah, firing up again, it seems absolutely fine. I think it was a low battery issue that meant it would start up before. Oh, James, cool. Nice to see you. Enjoy your food. I've got food waiting inside as well at some point soon. What will be my top 3 corpses in the boot car? Well, you need big boots, obviously, so series was disappointing. So you probably want an estate car with tinted windows, so maybe like a 5 Series or an E-Class Mercedes. Those would be in the top 2 for a start. What else would we go? Oh, I don't know. It's not going to dip in the back, so like a big Citron estate. The ride level, so you won't draw undue attention to yourself. Maybe Mondeo. Mondeo would be really good because even the regular hatchbacks look very unassuming. They've got massive boots. In fact, I put the Mondeo at the top of that list. And something big and American, like a massive 1970s Cadillac. That would be number 1, followed by the Mondeo. Rover. This Tomcat was sat in the yard for 3 years and utterly neglected, totally dead. They thought the immobiliser was broken. Turned out it had a broken alternator. Fixed that for 30 quid. Not alternator, sorry, starter motor. Fixed it for 30 quid, and it's been basically trouble-free for the last 10 years. This car, I leave abandoned for months at a time. Turn the key, fire it up, drive it. So no, I wouldn't say it's a world of hurt. In fact, they're pretty reliable cars. In fact, are you actually going for a drive? Or is it the coupe in a comfy studio? Is a coupe in my driveway at the limit of the Wi-Fi? That's my garage wall you can see behind me. How big audio install on your gift cards? I haven't done a big audio install on anything for a long time, although as Scottish Car Enthusiast TV just did comment, there is a sub in the boot of the convertible. Very out of place, but quite amusing. All the O'Reilly, you know, I'm probably more of a Riley driver, to be honest. I might go, yeah, no, Riley. I'm going to say Riley and stick with it. George is undoing his work on Audi as well now. Doing it properly. Yeah, I know the signal. I've done live chat from this location before, sat in the Mini, and it was absolutely fine. But the network has, the network has been dodgy lately around here. Chance of reviewing the most famous 2CV in the YouTube, Mr. Hubness. I'm sure he would let me do it. I don't see it as an issue. I'm actually planning a trip to Wales for holiday purposes later in the year, because we're not getting a summer holiday this year. I'm not quite sure how far I can look at that, so if we're near enough, and I can take a to see if I can do it then. I'm sure he would be amenable. Very nice. Someone smashed the window. As the next person said, that's exactly my sentiment as well. I would love to do a Saxo VTS. They're great cars. Rover 62. Yeah, and did have a big boot, but not as big as there. Do I plan to get space to work on my cars? Yeah, I'd love to. That's kind of like my dream, if you like, is to get like some kind of unit that take half dozen cars or so. They wouldn't be kind of littering the drive here, and I could work on them. Sorry, I don't know why the mic keeps dropping out. I think Wi-Fi and internet being rubbishy again. Where am I going to? Yeah, so it's just the expense and the location, trying to find something, because I'm in southeast England. All property is ridiculously expensive, so I don't know what Ian's paying for his unit in Wales, but I imagine it's going to be pretty inexpensive compared to anything around here. Try low multi. I don't know. I can do that actually. There's a button here. No, there's not. Actually streaming, unfortunately. Sound has died. Okay. A couple of people are saying I'm covering the microphone, but I actually don't think I am. I'm just holding it in a way that and I'll hold the car key. I'll hold the what do you call it? The iPad next to my head. That'll boost the signal. Sounds fine now. It's weird. I'm sort of holding it by the corners to try and keep my hands away from the microphones, because I didn't bring like a tripod or anything into the car. Guy, I've got a Tomcat that sits in the corner of the workshop and never fails to start with a good battery. Yep. They are great little cars. The T-Series is a great engine. Yeah, Ian's had that car years. He did a picture on Facebook today where he actually found it. 2005 Mondeo passed his MOT today. Yeah, they're decent cars. I regret that mine didn't really work properly, because that was a nice car to have. I might get another one day. Hello from Crete on holiday. Aha. Wade, I'm sure the divorce will be inexpensive and painless. Yeah, I think the problem is that because everyone's at home these days and doing stuff online, working from home, and Zoom meeting and stuff, it's just killing all the networks. Oh, blimey. Oh. Let's try and get comfortable again. It's starting to get dark out here now. Is the sound okay? Oops. I'm trying to hold the iPad nearer the window of the house, so I'm getting the extended Wi-Fi range, muting it. Oh. Okay, car you're pondering at the moment. What are you looking at? Spill the beans. What's happening with the Volvo? Nothing at the moment. Just because I've got the Tomcat and the Mini tax month, I've parked it up in a friend's driveway and sawned it, just so that I can use the other two cars for a little while. Because the problem with having, as I said earlier, multiple cars is that you can't realistically tax them all every month, and I hadn't driven the Tomcat in ages, so I got this one out, put the Volvo away for a few days. When that comes back, I'm going to go and sort out a little bit more rust I found on the MOT, which I need to sort out. But otherwise, it's a really good car. I'm just going to keep it until we can use it on some road trips and things again. Have I found any Mercedes breakers in Kent? No, I found a good BMW breaker in Kent. They do have mini bits occasionally, but I've not found anyone. Oh, no sound again. Oh, crikey. Was it hard as a teenager to keep up on the maintenance of your first car? Not really. I'm 6 when I was 17, and my dad was into cars and did a lot of car fixing on the drive, and so he had a lot of tools and things, and I sort of got some tools of my own as well as we went along. Oh, crikey. Is the Wi-Fi dropping again? It's getting frustrating. No, basically, I serviced it, I painted it, bought a compressor with a friend, went halves on a compressor, painted the car. In fact, when I went off to uni, I took the engine out and rebuilt the engine before I went to make sure it would run safe. But no. Doing the Malibach road race next month and the 100 ride out. Stay off the motorways because they tend to be pretty boring. But yeah, there's some really, really good roads around here actually. So yeah, that'd be quite. Head down to the coast. There's some nice roads down there. Something to do with Ian's toes in the sandals and knobbly knees. That's what's swinging it with on the. Late, but glad you're here. No, I don't think one of the microphones is being covered up. I'm sort of holding it in such a way that my hands are nowhere near the microphones. But it seems to be dropping nonetheless. I think it's because the Wi-Fi is just really dodgy tonight for some reason. Do I know anyone with a Merc W202 for spares? I'm afraid I don't. But if you Google Mercedes breakers, there are a couple of ones that will send stuff anywhere in the country if you say what you need. Would I consider selling the Tomcat? I prefer not to sell it, but there are other cars I want, and maybe if I need or funds, then something would have to go. Maybe it would. I've had it for 10 years now, so I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I'm live. Oh, good. Oh, this Wi-Fi is an issue. Considering I've got fibre broadband here, it's rubbish. Very odd. Oh, you're off, Big John. Nice that you could join me, and hope we speak to you again next time. How frustrated am I? Getting very frustrated because, as far as I'm aware, I'm doing everything the same as normal. But the internet seems to be really, really dodgy today, and we seem to be down to like 720p and general aggravations. What do I think of Hubnut's Invacar? I think it's quite an entertaining vehicle, really, isn't it? I've not seen it in person. I've seen Foxanne, which is quite a good little thing. The Invacar is a bit of a fun project, and there's not many around and not much knowledge on them. Crikey, Ewan, I'm virtually about to log off, I think, because the internet connection keeps dropping out. But I'm glad you could step in at the very end. Whoops. Has anyone seen Hubnut's Yugo? Not yet, because it's only been inside his unit, which is his old unit, which is in a secret location. I would quite like to see it. It's a brave thing, but I'm sure we'll get it sorted. Would it be sacrilege to a white private plate on a 53 plate Cooper? I don't see why not. People would only know because the spec would be different. If people who know the cars would know it was wrong because the car wouldn't have all the white plate bits. But no. What cars do I want to own? Good question. The top of my list would be Crown Victoria. That's the car I'm really looking forward to getting hold of as a late model Crown Vic. What's my next car? Probably a Crown Vic or an Austin 7 or something 1960. I'd like some cars that I don't have to put road tax on, because that green Rover Estate I drove the other day may come up for sale at some point soon. I quite like that. Maybe I'll do a swap with something for that. Yeah, I don't know what else I'd drive really. There's lots of things. Actually, if you're driving masks, if you go onto the Redbubble store, I'll put a link into this when I get offline. You can actually order Furious driving face masks on the Redbubble shop. I need to order one for myself actually as well. But yeah, that'd be quite good to have. Get a Bond bug, yeah, that'd be hilarious. UK doesn't have 5G Wi-Fi yet. That's 5G is on the phone system, not on the Wi-Fi system. We've got fibre broadband here, but it's. And because we're like, I don't know, it should be brilliant, but it's not. Of all the cars I've ever owned, what would I have back? The car I'd have back would be my Alfa 159 because it was an estate diesel 4-wheel drive TI, and they sold 17 of them. I was able to find one. Unfortunately, someone drove into it and wrote it off. And I had that car. I spent nearly a year looking for that. I only owned it for less than 9 months, but I would love to have that one again. Get a tuk-tuk. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Why can't I go back to the comments? Here we go. I need to get Furious Good. Allegedly, I've got Furious Good Wi-Fi. Apparently, because I pay like 50 quid a month for it, I've got the best Wi-Fi available. Fiber broadband with like a business bandwidth override thing as well. But it sucks. I did a speed test the other day, and it was coming up under 20. I need to have a word with the EE about that. What's my favourite car on the Furious fleet? Well, it's always my Rover 2000. That's my long-term favourite. I don't have anyone work for me. I work on my own, unfortunately. Insurance liability. I can't afford to pay anyone. Oh, Guy, I'm really sorry. It's been a rubbish evening tonight in terms of the Wi-Fi. I don't come outside, and in theory, I should be well within the range because it works as far as out as into the garage building itself. So it should be fine here, but fly fixed drive, yeah, reliant fetishism is a weird thing to have. Yeah, it would be good to do a Rover Reliant. I've never actually driven one. Hello, Peugeot dude. Citron DS or Rover P6? I would go for the Rover P6 because it's got a better engine. But yes, the DS is more beautiful. Yeah, I'd like to drive a CLS, a nice looking car, Mercedes. Oh yeah, flood heavy. Yeah, flood damage could be. There was a. I did read on Facebook earlier that some of the phone lines are out further down the village. What do you think of Rover 75? I think they're wonderful cars. By the earliest one you can, though, I would say, because they lost quality as they went along. Do I enjoy cooking? I like eating. My wife's a really good cook, so I don't really cook anymore. Put a name of your food blog up if you like, and send a few people down there if you want. Yeah, it's normal for the neighbours to hate the car guy on the street, but what are you going to do? My next door neighbour's a builder, so he's always got ladders and skips and stuff, so in relation, I'm actually not that bad. I'm actually not on the phone, I'm on iPad on Wi-Fi rather than 5G or 4G. Yeah, I want to do all the different Mercedes generations as time goes on. Yeah, so looking at I need to look at new Wi-Fi at some point soon. Coffee or tea? I like them both at different times of day. I live in southeast England. Try and claim part suppliers online. Crikey. Just Google on eBay probably, or check the Owners Club. Oh, Paul, nice to see you. Glad you come along. My PlusNet box melted and caught fire. Wow, that's impressively bad. Have I read the amazing W123 book by Mark Buckley and Mark Kosovich? No, I haven't actually. I'm aware of it, and I keep meaning to go and buy a copy. It's not cheap. Mercedes or BMW? I used to be BMW, but I'm more into Mercs these days. Oh, if food blog Keith's Kitchen. Search on Facebook and Google. Keith is a nice chap and certainly deserves a look, and I'm sure it'll be quite entertaining. I'm going to have a look myself later on. Wow, I've been on just over an hour now, and the Wi-Fi is going a bit mad. Idea for cups for furious driving. I'm all ears. We've got the Rover mug, which is now almost devoid of tea. Yeah, Hubnut's new purchase. There you go. It is a challenge, but they were massively popular over in Eastern Europe and other parts of Europe. So parts are available. So I can imagine a parts gathering road trip being quite entertaining in the future. Any chance I can do a hypermiler? Actually, yes. It's not quite 500,000 miles, but I did run into a viewer not so long ago, and we've had exchanged messages, who has got something with ridiculous miles on it, and it's going up daily. So I actually need to try and sort that out, try and do something with that very soon. Am I thinking of doing any meets and greets next summer? Yes, absolutely. I was planning on doing a meet and greet this summer, like a social, whatever you want to call it. But obviously 2020 got in the way, and I was considering even maybe doing something in the autumn, but I don't want to be responsible for anyone catching any diseases on my account. So I'm still giving it thought into a way, could we do it in a way to make it sort of safe? And we've done, the car meets have happened. So as long as it's outside everyone met, perhaps we could do something later on this year. I would quite like that. Maybe I'll do a poll as to where we should run it. Viewers driving air fresheners. I need to look into that one. Because most of what I do is through the Redbubble store, where they kind of announce what you can put designs onto. But with things like the beanie hats and the snapback caps, I had them done myself, so I've sort of taken those in-house, if you like. Freshness would be quite cool, actually. I am thinking about maybe I will do some more in-house printing and do stuff in the future. Because the Redbubble really did annoy me this week. Someone has reported my Volvo t-shirt design for copyright infringement, but I don't understand how or what of, because I drew that picture myself. So I've not copied anything apart from the shape of the car, and they've pulled it off the store temporarily while they investigate, so I'm really quite annoying. Have I been to the Aylesford Prairie car shows? Yeah, they've grown from like 20 cars in the corner to taking over the entire place now. It's amazing. Well, oh, the Celtic smell descriptions. That's a good point, actually. I've gotten to do them a few recently. But yeah, I'll try and remember to do it. Don't always smell, the cars don't always really smell of anything, which is funny. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Led Zepp or Deep Purple? I'm more Led Zepp. K12 Micro. Oh, gosh, I can't remember what the t-shirt's like on that one. I can investigate one again. You're going numb. Move, move. How tempted were you to buy the 2.5 litre V6 75 Tourer? Incredibly tempted. That was a really, really nice car. It's actually sold already though, which is a shame. So at least it puts out of temptations away for me, which is, I guess, a good thing. So hey, yeah. I'm keen to find an Allegro. No, you're not mad at all. They're much derided, unfairly tarred by the brush of being bad, but they're not. They're pretty good actually. They've got quite fun handling, weird styling. They didn't get to look at how they were intended, which is a shame. Rover Tomcat's interior smell. It's a strange sort of smell. It's a little bit musty actually. It's quite a dry smell. A little bit sweet as well. It's very unique actually. I've smelt other cars like this do smell similar. Will I be getting rid of the W123? Well, my plan was to make it start and then flip it, but I would like to drive it. I'll at least drive it once. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to meetups happening again soon as well. M3 or Giulia Quadrifoglio? Oh, that's a no-brainer. The Alpha all the way. Peugeot dude, glad you could join me, and hope to see you again soon. Mark 1 Strada, they are properly rare. If you can find one, grab it, because you're going to see another. Oh, E46 330 CIs are good cars. They're nice, actually. Yes, sorry. Do I hate that car brands are taking iconic names and putting them on SUVs? Absolutely, drives me mad. The Mustang and the Puma, good cars, despite being SUVs, and the electric Mustang as they may well be. There's no relation to what they were meant to be, which is a real shame, because you go into the car thinking this should be in some way inspired by or related to, but it's really not. How do I stay so calm when things go wrong? Yeah, you see the outtakes, throwing spanners through windows and swearing. No, I've always been a calm person, I think, really. Very rarely get particularly riled. Oh, so Retro is still on. Oh, I didn't know that, actually. I'm glad it is. I'm not sure how big it will be, but I'm glad it is. Because Lee, who puts that on, does an amazing show. And again, that's grown from a school field of 10 cars to over like a couple of thousand now. So if that can happen, that'd be good, because last year was virtually rained off. So it'd be a shame to have 2 years in a row where it's not really worked out properly. What engine and gearbox did the last Volvo 360 have in the UK? I honestly don't know. Maybe someone else can step in and answer that one. Steve, my dad briefly owned a lovely dark brown Allegro. Oh, That's the colour you need, brown. There's all the browns you can get. Renault 402 CV. I really prefer the Renault 4, to be perfectly honest. Please keep the Volvo and W123. I would like to keep them both, but space and funds are restrictions. If I want to bring other cars into the fleet later on, something might have to give. 200 Cabrio or Coupe. I'm not really a convertible person, to be perfectly honest, so I would be always the Coupe in any given choice of car. Given that. Pop Bang Max maps. It does do a daft trend and stancing it to the point where the wheels don't really touch the ground. Well, everyone's got their own thing, and I'm not going to knock them for it, but it's not brilliant. It's just I'd rather have actual power in a car that delivers actual power rather than just a bit of noise. Have I had any problems with W204? I'm going to touch wood here. There is wooden dashboard. Touch that. Not a one. W204 is the best Mercedes in decades, and that one's now got about 110,000 miles on it, and it's completely faultless. Never have a problem with it. It's brilliant. Thinking of getting rid of my Volvo V60 estate, and what's a good car for your family? Well, W204, there you go. You really can't go wrong with one of them, and they're getting quite cheap now as well. Big Mondeo, if you make sure it's running properly, a nice Mondeo estate would be really handy. They're huge and they're tough, and as long as the diesel is working properly. Oh, Psycho, thank you very much indeed, I really appreciate that. That'll go on there. I don't know if you saw this earlier, if you may have joined us lately. Hood for the convertible is going to be red. Richard, W202 is better than 204. I'm afraid it isn't. It had more mechanical issues and quite serious rust problems, which the 204 addressed because Mercedes were just killing their reputation. The 203 was also quite poor for rust. So yeah, the 204 did solve all of their problems. Yeah, a lot of people actually the pop bang maps really upset people on the street as well, because the car's just cruising by suddenly, it's exploding without any warning. That really does give people a bit of a shock. Got to go. Extended household arrive with beers. Oh well, send some round here because no one's got beer in my house, which I'm annoyed at. Have I ever driven an SD1 Vitesse? I've driven a few SD1s. I think I have driven a Vitesse actually. Yeah. 360 had a Renault engine. Possibly it did actually, yeah. We're doing a Saab 900 Turbo should be a great addition to the fleet. I would love a 900 Turbo. They're really good. I might, well, if I was going to get one, I might have to get rid of something. I might have to sort of just go change Swedes, change the Volvo for a Saab if I was going to do that. Do I actually enjoy driving automatic cars? No, I really don't. I think I've probably said this many times. I find them utterly soulless and really boring. So it's really tragic that so many of the better cars in manufacturers' ranges now are only available as manuals. It really winds me up. I think they're completely boring when you go into corners and you've got nothing to do. You just slow down. And also I think they're not particularly safe as well, because whenever you see these incidents where cars have run away, driven out of top stores of car parks, it's always an automatic. They're just stuck. Have I driven a Peugeot 307? No, I haven't actually. What's happening with the Volvo? It's sawned on a friend's drive just because I've got the Mini and the Tomcat taxed this month, and it's too many cars to tax at once. Yeah, V6 diesel Vectra. Wow, yeah, no one does know they exist. V6 petrol's fairly well known. Have I ever owned an Audi? No, I haven't. Yeah, so we've got the older people and the youth not enjoying the pops and bangs and the stanced cars. New automatics are not so bad. They're more efficient, and certainly they're quicker at changing. And yeah, the old 3-speed autos were really rubbish, but still they just suck all the joy out of a drive. I mean, I took a DSG Seat Cupra to the Stelvio Pass, and it was boring because you just go to a corner, you slow down, you come out the corner, you speed up. You're just steering. It's like a video game, but without being able to go really fast because you're on a real road. 3-litre diesel V6 in a Vectra, which I think is the same as in the Signum, isn't it? 204. Oh yeah, C250 sounds noisier on ticket. I wonder if it's less. It's not that loud. Sorry, the thing about the W204 C250 tick over sound. It is quite loud actually. Now you mention it. Velsatis or Signet? Oh, Velsatis, they are beautiful. I'd love to own a Velsatis, pretty briefly, but I would like to own one. Do I like snooker? It's all right playing at the pub. I don't think I like watching it. I don't really watch anything on TV. Autos are not autos. There are computer control clutch. Yeah, it's automated manuals and things, which some of them are now. But still, you're not actually doing it. You're not interacting. The car's choosing what to do for you. It's like Velcro shoes. It's just dull. What's the best appreciating classic for under K? Well, I'd say the R50 Mini, early R50 Minis, or I've not really looked at prices much lately. I'm very well, thank you. Saab 9.5 also had the V6 3-litre diesel. Oh, it was nice, Susie. What's my new opinion on the latest Leon? I think the previous generation was closer to taking it to more the Alpha, especially with the Cupra versions. The new one is very good. I'm not driven the latest Leon yet because they've done a revision in the last sort of 6 months. But yeah, they always wanted to be the Spanish Alfa Romeo, but they're a little bit too, I say good's the right word, but they're too Volkswagen-ish to be really Alfa-ish. And I know Volkswagen have been trying to buy Alfa for a long time, and I'm kind of glad they haven't, because they would then become just yet another badge-engineered version of the Golf and the Polo and things. And while they're not, they are more individual, more exciting. Would I like a classic Impreza? Absolutely. I've been wanting one of them for years. They're fantastic. Would I agree that Peugeots from 2000 on are ugly and boring? Well, they were for a long time, but look at the current range. They're actually really quite exciting. They're some of the best looking cars on the road. All of a sudden, it's like come from nowhere. But the current range of Peugeots are really cool. The 5008, the big saloon, that was really good. Trick little hatch thing, that's really good as well. I'm definitely going to be testing some of those very soon. Today's traffic and speed cameras and yada yada. Yeah, but with a lower power car and a manual gearbox, you can actually ride around back roads and enjoy the thing. I'm glad you're enjoying it vicariously. If I go back to the year I was born and bring back a car, I've said it many times before, probably be a Rover P6 because I could have one that's not rusty. Or a Trump Dolomite Sprint. I don't know if they were built the year I was born, but I think they were around that kind of decade. Dolomite Sprint would be great. Uh, 1989 8 Mazda 323 won't start. Ugh, automatic with the O drive. Could be auto lockout maybe? I don't know. 1,000 things could be wrong with it. Viva HC Estate. I forgot they did an estate of them. Yeah, no health and safety seatbelts and things. I used to sit in the back of my dad had a Mark 1 or 2 Escort, and then Capri to sort of slide around in the back of those things. Yeah, I don't know if Peugeot will come back to the States now. They've sort of merged with Fiat, which is also part of Chrysler. There's a good chance you might start getting the Peugeot cars under an American brand now. It'd be interesting. They probably rebrand Chryslers and things as or rebrand Peugeots as Chryslers perhaps, and you might start getting some really quite cool cars in that way. Eurocar parts or GSF? Probably GSF, but I've been using a local smaller chain lately, and they've been really good. Jay, you alright? I was just about to ring off. I'll give you a call in a little while. Any recommendations on a classic as a first car? Well, as I was going to say, a Triumph Dolomite, but also the 1300, which is the lower spec one and cheaper. Beetle's quite good. MGB, if you can find one for the money, but they've got a bit expensive lately. Volvo 340. What else would be a good first classic? Chuck some suggestions in here. Fords used to be really good, but they've suddenly got really expensive. Audi RS2 is not a good first classic, Jace. What else would be a good one for a first classic? Ooh. Rover 200 from the 80s and 90s. The R8 is basically a Honda, but with a much nicer interior and better handling. Can't go wrong with one of them. What else would you say? 1970s cars, so you get free tax then, or anything before 1980 really, isn't it? Save a few quid on that. Yes, my wife is still doing keep fits in the lounge, but we have actually gone back to the gym again. Dolomite or Acclaim or Orion? I think it'd be Dolomite followed by Orion followed by Acclaim, because I really like all three of them. I do like a 3-box saloon a lot, and the Acclaim was brilliant when I drove one. But the Acclaim and the Dolomite is rear-wheel drive, and the Orion is just more of a thing from my childhood. Aventime or Velsatis? Oh, probably the Velsatis. It's just a little bit weirder, but they're both weird enough to be quite exciting. Much of the auto-only options are for emissions and collisions avoidance and things, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, though, they're not rigged exactly, but then if it's a manual, you have to run the emissions tests at a certain rev range, at a certain speed, in a certain gear. And it's not always the most efficient for the engine. With an auto, you can't control the gear, so the car automatically finds the most efficient position. So they're not actually more efficient. They just come out that way in tests, which is really annoying. Adaptive cruise does work, and so does collision, actually. Someone said that adaptive cruise and collision avoidance doesn't work with manuals, because I've had cars with both of those on a manual, and they worked absolutely fine. Orions are surprisingly rare. 1953 Bentley R-Type Mulliner Park Ward. Do you know, I didn't drive it for the channel, but I did drive a 1951 Mark 6 Mulliner lightweight the other day, and it was absolutely fantastic. Sadly, it wasn't for the channel, it was for something else, and I couldn't get it for the channel. Oh, first classic for a lottery winner, yeah. Honda CRX, yeah, that's a good car. Surprisingly rare and not cheap either. They're quite expensive now. CX Estate GTI Turbo or Granada Mark II. I think the Granada would be the obvious choice, but I'd probably jump in and buy the Citron CX. It's a bit more exciting. E46, yes, falling into classic territory now, isn't it? But you'd have to hunt around for one that's like an affordable first car. Probably want a 316 to get the insurance down nice and low as well. Would I buy a Ferrari? There aren't many Ferraris I would like enough to spend the money on. Don't mind them, but there's a Skoda Estelle on eBay. There you go. There's a good retro, unusual first classic for a Skoda Estelle. E39s, I love E39s. They're getting expensive though. 5 versus 8 cylinder best sound. I don't think you can call that really. They're both very, very individual, because the 5 cylinder's got a really unusual warble, but obviously got the V8 rumble, which is utterly different as well. Would I own a Mercedes W202 if it was the right price for the right model? But I know they have horrific rust problems. Someone did offer me one as a project, but it turned out the reason it was a project was because you can put your fists through the panels on it. So I turned it down. That was only a couple of weeks ago, actually. Only like getting the Brabus V12 engine and suspension for the W123. Yeah, they're in the wheelie bin. You can see behind me. V8 or V12? Probably go for V12 actually. I've never owned a V12. Just the difference. Old 80s CRXs have gone up madly in value because there's about 4 left. I did test one on the channel very recently. Wow, I paid 595 quid for an E39 523 SCI last year. That's very good indeed. Although Car Throttle only paid £150 for one recently, and they just had the video where they show that it needed 9 grand of repairs. Need more Opel action? Absolutely, yeah. Monza, Manta, a coupe would be nice to get on there. A Scona, if I could find one. Do I think my projects should be more hub nut instead of furious driving? Oh, hub mat, sorry. Is that because they're not working out? How's progress on the old Rover? It hasn't moved on since the last video because it's school holidays and no childcare is available, and I'm working as well. So I've not really gone to that one. I've been doing tinkering with the Mercedes though, and the convertible. Oh, because I need to get the convertible gone because the Alfa is away having work done for an MOT, and the only reason I could get the convertible here is because the Alfa's away having the MOT done, and so I need that car, the convertible, gone before the Alfa comes back, so I need to finish that and find a different home for it. Love the BMW 6-cylinder sound. Yeah, the straight 6 BMW is an awesome sound, but yeah, the V6 Alfa I would say does win it, especially with a good exhaust on it. Have I ever reviewed a car but not released it because it's so bad or the video was so bad? Not yet, no. Give it time. Oh, only need front shocks on the 500 quid E39. That's a bargain in that case then. Oh yeah, the Preludes are great things. I need to get one of them on the channel as well. Someone's got some good sensible advice for a starter classic. Anything mid-80s to mid-90s. Metro, Nova, Mark II Golf. Yeah, they're all good. Yeah, if I sell it to the guy who's got that yard full of cars, it's not going to get used. I like it to go to someone who's going to use it, because I know the owner of that yard has got a lot of cars there, so doesn't get time to drive many of them. Busso V6 or Twin Spark. Oh, Twin Spark is a lovely revvy engine, but then you don't get the problems with what do you call it, the oil starvation and burnout on them. So pretty good with the Busso. Sierra RS 500. Oh, Cosworth, really fantastic. Rover SD1. I would love an SD1. What car would you say fits me like a glove? The car that's fit me absolutely best, which I can't have, is the second generation Renault Alpine. The A310? Not the original 110, which is like 80, 90 grand or even more now. The one's merely about 50 grand, which is like the 70s one with the Perspex front. I sat in one of them and I've never had a car, it was like telepathic control to that car. It's merely about 25 grand when I drove it a couple of years ago, but now it's even more. Best rear end on a car. Oh, I say. Okay, also Ferrari. Yeah, Dino. Ferrari Dino, beautiful things. Review a Lotus Carlton. If I can find someone to trust me to drive one. Novas are easy to break into, but yeah, people have kind of forgotten how to break into them now because they're not so common. Let's go to Favorite on eBay right now. Oh, yeah, a 5-cylinder does sound good. The 850R Volvo, the Mark II Focus, and the Alfa 5-cylinders, they're great. Volvo P1800, they're expensive cars as well now. How many Rovers do I currently have? Got 2 P6s, got the Tomcat, got the convertible. I think it makes 4. Don't think I'm forgetting any. Yeah, Alfa 75 V6 will be a great thing. But yeah, not necessarily very reliable. Start Novas with hazard light warnings, which turned upside down. I wasn't going to say that because people accuse me of saying how to break into cars as well. Need a Mark III Cavalier SRI. Was that you who emailed me, Joseph? I don't know if I've got back to you yet. I think the problem is that sounds like it's quite expensive in terms of you've got a good one that's probably more than I can afford to spend on a car right now. And it also needs money spending on it. Question from Ray. Would I prefer to drive Mr. Bean's Mini or Only Fools and Horses van? The Mini, because Minis are way more fun. Whatever, own a Lotus Carlton. Well, if someone lent me 100 grand, I'd buy one. Yeah, I thought it was. I'm very interested, but I think as generally my cars come in at 3 figures or under in terms of price-wise, it's maybe out of my price range. Unfortunately, I've got nowhere to put it either. If I could flog the convertible quickly enough, then maybe. But does my Mrs. raise her eyebrows and walk away? No, she just shakes her head. Merc W116 or W126. I think the 116 is a bit more classic-y. Hang on. Scottish car. I only know. Hang on, I missed your previous comment. Oh yeah, but the thing, yeah, Clarkson did that, didn't he? That was quite. A lot of people at my college held them, and yeah, that was a favourite trick back then. fun project. Mark 1 Zafira. SRI, yeah, that'd be quite fun. Oh yeah, Bungson picks up. It does sound like it might be more of a project than I'm up for at the minute though. This is the Cavalier. How about if people chipped in Patreon and got me a Lotus Carlton? Yes, I would be definitely up for that, but the only one I know that I might be able to drive is one in the Vauxhall Heritage fleet. I'll go and sweet talk them. Oh, hello. Yeah, oh, thank you very much indeed. That is very much appreciated indeed. Have I ever driven a Lotus Carlton? No, I haven't. I would like one. They're massively expensive though. Gosh. How do 70s cars survive rust? I don't know, to be honest. Underseal them as soon as you get them. Wax all them, inject all the cavities, keep them in the dry if you possibly can. That's the thing. Just keep them out of the water and get the water off them. Yeah, the Alfa 2.4 is a wonderful engine. I've had 2 of those in cars, and they're one of my favourite engines to drive, especially remapped. Road legal Metro 6R4. Yeah, that'd be cool to have. Well, I prefer an RS200, really. Any Renault 5 GTI or 205 GTIs out there? There's not many anymore. Mostly they were crashed or stolen, or both. I don't know what the best rust proofing is. I wish I did. Lots of people say different things. Ever driven a Trabant? No, I think I might be doing one hopefully this summer still, if it's possible. Have I seen JM's review of the Alfa Sud? No. Oh, yes, I have actually. Yes, I did watch that one because I do watch a few of his, and I'm big into the Alfa Sud. So I would like to drive one again very soon. I think there is one very near here who's contacted me, and I'm going to actually now. Well, I say it's now it's nice weather. It's rainy again. Don't know. Oh, Built Hammer. Yeah, people really do recommend Built Hammer a lot. Do you know what? I think I'm starting to get some dodgy internet again. Have I ever struggled to use the controls of any cars you reviewed? Well, yeah, there was the the Morris Minor the other day with the madly inverted pedals. That was a bit of an entertaining drive, and also it had like a hand throttle for advanced retard as well as a choke and the throttle itself. So that was quite entertaining. Occasionally with the column shifts, those are a little bit notchy and a bit hard to get into gear, so they can be a bit of a pain. But generally, no. Generally, the car's a car and it's not too hard. Do you think we might get a second peak of COVID-19? It's a real possibility, worryingly so, but hopefully it's contained enough that it will be localised lockdowns rather than a national one again. Oh, hello. I keep saying I'm going to ring off because the Wi-Fi is a bit laggy again, but then I keep people joining in. Oh, hello, Stockholm, and thank you very much indeed, Mr. Troll. That's very nice to hear. I could plug the photo business, but I tend to only work for like commercial clients, for like magazines and businesses rather than individuals. So, yeah, people not listening to social distance is an issue. But yeah, I did start a photography channel, which I've not really done much work with, which needs a few more subscribers. That's called Clickbait. I'll put a link into that down below. The 75 is a great car to drive. Land crabs are great fun. I need to get more of those on the channel. A friend of mine not too far from here did have one, but he sold it to someone who lives a little way away, so hopefully I get to drive that one at some point. Right. The network is becoming laggy and it is getting dark. Oh, I'm sticking to the chair as well. It's sticky. Batman's Tumbler. That sounds quite hard to drive, Jace. But I think I'm going to get rung off now because it is getting dark and I think I can barely see myself on the screen now. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you everyone who made donations on the super chat. I really do appreciate that. That will go a long way to, as I've said this before, the new roof on the convertible. Awesome bits for the W123, which is about to start hoovering up cash again. Now it's moving on to the next stage of its restoration. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you all again very soon. Ringing off. Goodbye, Psycho. Goodbye. Oh, thank you, Russian D. I really appreciate that last minute donation. Thank you so much. I was saying goodbye, James, Psycho, Richard. I'll see you again very soon.